6 months or so since you guys have seen me. And so I thought I would come back on here. I have a whole lot of videos already recorded and waiting. But since I haven't given you guys any kind of update, I thought I would come on here and just kind of chit chat with you and let you know the things that have been going on in my life. I feel like I was in like transitioning into a move and all that when I last did a video. So I just want to catch you guys up from then to now on where I'm at now. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. I know a lot of people have been wondering what's been going on with me and what I've been doing and where I've been. So here I am coming to you, bringing you a video talking about me, of course. I'm just playing, and not really. Yeah, let's get right into it. I've actually wrote some notes down because so much has happened. And so I just don't want to get off track. So as the title states, how I've now become a mother of 3, going from 1 last year, 1 kid in the house, to 3. So I really wanted to get to that because I have a lot of vlogs that I want to do, but now there are 3 kids in the house, and so some of you may not know what's going on, and so I just kind of want to go ahead and clear the air with that. I'm pretty sure during the time that I was recording, you guys had already known that I had closed down my salon, and I was in a new salon. I know all of that you guys already knew because I was planning to move. And at that time, I believe I was moving to Vegas. It had switched to Dallas, and I wasn't telling anybody, but neither one of those things happened. I'm still in Wichita. I am in a new house, which another thing is I wanted to do a new house tour for you guys as well, but I had to do an update and let you guys know that I even moved. So I am in a new house, but I am, yes, still in Wichita. So that is one thing that has not changed. The reason that I stayed here was because I actually had applied for a job at a aircraft company here in Wichita. It was a really good job, but I had applied for it, like, I want to say back in March maybe, and this is June, July, August. You know, they called me back in August, so it had been quite some time. You know, I wasn't even expecting to get the job, to be honest, but they called me back right before I was planning to move. I was like down to like my last couple months here, and it was a really good offer, so I'm like, hey, why not, you know? Plus I had also been talking to someone. I guess what's the word? Reconnected with someone from, like, not childhood, but, you know, early high school era days, you know. And so I was kind of talking, you know, to somebody anyway, and so I'm like, I don't know if this is a good time to move. Ain't that just like a woman? But anyway, I don't know if this is a good time to move. So you know, I got that job opportunity, and then so that kind of just went hand in hand, and I had decided to stay. So but my lease, of course, was about to be up. So I still needed to figure out where I was going to live. So that is when I made the decision to go ahead and find a house that I really wanted. Because my thing was, if I'm going to stay in Wichita, I'm going to stay where, like, I'm glad to come home every day. I don't want to be in an apartment. I want to come home to something nice, you know. It ended up working out, and here I am. So yeah. So I decided to stay, and so I let the shop owner that I'm working with now, a friend of mine, know that I was going to be staying. So I was going to be staying at the salon with her, and I was going to work for this aircraft company and also do hair. So I was really excited because I felt like it was going to be a good opportunity for me to make some really good money and to kind of catch up on bills, you know, and just put me in a better position for 2020, which was my plan all along. So everything was going good, and then it got to be about, I was working there, and I want to say I got a couple paychecks, and then all of a sudden my check was like split in half, and I'm like, Turns out that I was being garnished from a company, not even a company, from an apartment complex that I had stayed in back in like 2013, 14. I don't even think I had Sebastian yet. And what happened was I had moved out of that complex. My lease was up, but I hadn't given them 30-day notice. And I was young and dumb, and I didn't know that you had to do that. I gave them like, I want to say it was like the 3 days too late for 30-day notice. So it was like 27-day notice. But anyway, so they charged me for another month. But at that time, I really didn't care about it. I'm like, I already found a new place. I'm moving. So I didn't pay them. So that was like $500 at the time. Well, let's just say you can't run away from bills forever. You can't run away from things forever. So interest has now occurred, and now it's thousands of dollars that I owe them. So yeah, so that was kind of a bummer because, you know, I just kind of felt like, dang, you know, I stayed here because I thought this was going to be a great financial opportunity for me. Not only am I, you know, working here full time, but I'm also in the salon. However, since I am working full time, my salon hours have been cut down, you know, in half because I don't have the time. And so I've lost clients because of this. And, you know, then after I get off work, I'm just tired. So really, I don't even want to do hair. So I just found myself in like a really like hard spot, but I just wanted to keep being, you know, like positive and all of that. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep working through it and pay it off, whatever. I'll get through it. And one thing about me, I'm going to always figure out a way to make stuff happen. That's just how I am. So I said I wanted to get some things in order, and hey, they didn't caught up with me, and now at least I'll have this debt paid off. So, so yeah, that was the plan. Fast forward, so I'm still in training. I'm in like my last couple weeks of training, and this particular job training is like hard. When I say hard, I'm talking about they want you to quit. Like, that's how, like, if you get through this, then girl, you better stay. You better be there, because this training was really hard to get through. You can't miss any days. You know, attendance is very crucial, because of course, you know, you're building airplanes. So, I mean, that's pretty important. You want to know what you're doing, so they want you to be there. What's really cool about this job, though, is my older brother works there. His girlfriend works there. One of my best friends works there. I know hell of people, okay, at this company. So when I was in training, my brother literally worked right upstairs. So like on this particular day, it is November 5th, and around afternoonish, probably about 11, my brother like comes rushing up to me. My older brother comes rushing up to me, and I just see the worry on his face, you know, and I'm just like, what's wrong, you know? And so he just tells me like, our youngest brother has been admitted to the hospital and he's not doing so well. At that time, it didn't really set in because my younger brother has been sick for a couple years, and so I'm used to him going into the hospital and then coming right back out. You know, he's very strong, and so I'm just thinking, well, maybe it's just like the other times before, you know. But I look at him and I just can tell he's like, you know, and he's just like, no, you know, they said that he's brain dead. And so just a whole bunch of emotions just come over me at this point, you know, and I'm at this new job, and I feel like, well, if I leave, I'm gonna be fired. But at this point, you know, I have to get to the hospital. So I go to the hospital that day, and it's like still just pains me to talk about it. But you know, just watching your loved one lay there, you know, basically lifeless, it really hurts, you know. And it's like we tried to hold on to him as long as we could. We had a lot of hope it'll get better, you know. And so we had held on to him for 5 days, but after multiple tests were ran and stuff, we all decided to go ahead and let him go. I lost my brother on November 10th, actually. My little brother. Just can't even explain how hard that was. The plus side of that was I was actually able to be there with him those 5 days every day, with my other siblings, and say our piece and kind of get some closure to the situation, because yeah, he was sick, but it was a shock, and he's only 22 years old, so we weren't expecting that. So that was definitely hard. And so we went through the motions, of course, had his services and all that, and I feel like I had just begun to be able to breathe. 3 weeks later, I was coming home from a hair salon. I had just finished I think I was doing my cousin's hair, I don't remember, but I had just finished an appointment. It's like 8 o'clock, about 8:30, and my sister Janelle calls me, and she's just a mess, just crying, and I'm like, I can't even understand her, and I'm like, okay, well, I can't hear you. What's going on? What's up? She's like, our oldest sister was murdered. She's dead. And I'm just like, what? Like, I don't know. With me, I'm one of them people, when I hear bad news, it's going to take a minute for things to kind of hit me, It's like, what did she say? And so I'm like, I hung up on her, I think. I don't even know what I did. I can't remember. But I remember calling my older brother, and I'm like, first thing he says when he answers the phone is, "Are you okay?" And so that just told me, that, okay, this is real. This really happened. So I feel like I had just begun to be able to swallow again, with losing my younger brother, and then my oldest sister was snatched from me. So yeah, unbearable. So then that happened. So right as I'm dealing with that, I'm just kind of going into business mode and getting things done, because my sister, she didn't have insurance. So my other sister and I took care of preparing her funeral arrangements. I've never planned a funeral. My whole life, I've never planned a funeral. I've never picked out what someone was gonna wear or how their hair was gonna be. When my little brother died, I did organize his haircut, and that was a lot, just to even be discussing how you want someone's last haircut to be. So with Candy, it was a little bit different, because my dad kind of gave my sister and I the responsibility of making sure everything was done. And so it was hard, and it was a lot that went into it. Like, even just picking out her outfit was hard, because she can only wear certain things, and it has to be up to her neck. And and then when we went to see her, her eyebrows weren't right. And anybody who knows my sister knows her eyebrows were always on point, and those lashes was always on point, So just dealing with the loss of 2 siblings is, one, goes without saying, but 2, it really still, because it's only been 1 month for one, and then 2 months for the other. So it still is like unbearably hard. And so now, as a result of that, I now have my sister's 2 youngest children, her 2 girls, and what was so important to me was to give them the easiest transition possible, the most seamless transition possible. I mean, I know they lost their mom, but I wanted to be able to give them, if not more love than before, because I just don't want them to hurt. And it was really important to me to get them. And I know my family was kind of looking at me like, Jazz, are you sure? But I just felt like Candace would have wanted me to have them, and I wanted to have them because I wanted to have a piece of her. And so, all of my family, I feel like family is family, but my siblings, they all know how I feel about them. I love them to death, all of them. And I never would have thought this would have been the case of how 2019 would have been wrapping up. It's crazy how you go through things and it really, shows you, how much you can handle. And I found myself going through this process really angrily and taking it out on a lot of the wrong people. I want to really go into 2020 loving the people that are in my life. As of right now, anyone that I talk to on a daily basis, I value tremendously. And I just see life in a whole different perspective. And I've really been trying to make the connection with my siblings more, just checking in more and just being present, because nothing is more important than saying all the things you want to say and you need to say while people are still here. In addition to that, now that I am raising 3 children, I don't have as much time as I had before, but I am having a bit more time because the company I was working for is laying everyone off. So at first I was a little upset about that, but actually I feel good about it because I have more time with the kids, for one. I'm more involved with them, and I really want to get back into doing hair. It's really important to me to get back to what I love to do, because you just never know. I feel like I'm more focused than ever, and I'm just ready to get back on YouTube. I say this all the time. I know y'all are probably sick of me saying this, but I'm just ready to get back on YouTube. I'm ready to tackle go by go and just be the best version of me that I can be. Times will get really hard, and sometimes it'll seem like nothing's letting up and you don't even know where you're going to get the energy to wake up for the next day, but I feel like I've been super depressed at times. But what I say about hope earlier, hope is what keeps you going, and I feel like that's a very powerful tool. Hope, what do they say on Hunger Games? Hope is dangerous, something like that. I don't know, I'll put that in the description. But yeah, but I feel like you just hold on, keep going. Things will always get easier. There's always going to be a silver lining, whether you see it at first or not. So I also do want to thank my husband, because that's another thing. Yes, in 2019 I did get married, but I do want to thank my husband, because I feel like without him I would not be able to do anything that I do now as far as support wise goes. And it's very important to have a partner who supports you through everything you do, and he deals with all of my everything, all of my attitudes and frustrations and weaknesses and emotions. He's there firsthand. So I do want to thank him, and also my mother. I feel like she too can sometimes be my punching bag, because of course I just get overwhelmed at times. I am only human, but I really do have a lot of support. My grandmother, my sister, I just really appreciate having that support. It's very important to have a support system. You cannot go through life alone. You just can't. You just need that extra love sometimes. When I'm out and giving all I can to other people, I'm glad I have them to fill my cup back up, because that's what you need. You need somebody to fill you back up. So in the videos to come, because I do already have some recorded, I just haven't edited them yet. In the videos to come, you will be seeing the girls in there. So if you've watched this one, you won't be confused on why there's 3 kids in the house. You'll also be seeing my husband in there. And yeah, so a lot of things have changed, and that's why you can't leave YouTube, because then you got to catch everybody up, but especially in my life. But thank everyone who's held me down and supported me through this long journey since 2012 that I've been on YouTube. I'm still here. I'm gonna be coming with more videos. Yeah, so don't forget to like this video, leave a comment below, let me know what you thought, and subscribe. Bye.
Now that you're gone, every day I